Hi guys, it's Deni here. I guess most of you have already heard about the awesome neural network ChatGPT, which is able to answer your questions, do simple and complex tasks, analyze information and even draw art and write code. Anyway, this thing really rocks, and I decided to ask it what are the best PC games of all time. So today we are going to look at the top 10 games according to artificial intelligence. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, let's get started. Well, I don't know if this is an actual top list or just a list of games in random order. Anyway, the first game we have today is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It is the open world adventure RPG that is much loved by millions. And if this neural network created exactly the top list, it is exactly right on target. The latest Witcher game is one of the best games you can ever find. It has everything your soul desires, a cool plot, charismatic characters, a lot of quests and secrets, well-designed world, nice combat, perfect graphics. I could list the merits of this game forever, best of the best. The next game on the ChatGPT list is an action-adventure game in the Western setting, Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is also quite known, but if you still haven't heard of it, I tell you. The game is set in far 1899. You are Arthur Morgan, who has been robbing, killing and extorting all his life and now wants to get the big money and retire. The game gives you complete freedom of action, Wild West style, cowboy shootouts, numerous story and side quests, character interactions, horseback riding, and animal hunting. God, there is so much to see and do here. And most importantly, there is a huge open world with over 15 cities and large locations with winter, tropical, and mild climates. So you'll definitely have something to do here. Great choice, Neuronet. And what we have next is Half-Life. And no, I'm not talking about the second part or any episode. Today we are talking about Half-Life Alyx. In general, it is quite reasonable that this game was put into today's list, because it is the latest part of the series, and a lot of people like it. Some loyal Half-Life fans even bought VR headset just to play Half-Life Alyx. Well, as for the story, this is a spin-off with events unfolding in between the action of the first and second games. An incident in Black Mesa allowed Alliance forces to gain a foothold on the planet, leaving the survivors trapped in cities. The protagonist here is Gordon Freeman's friend Alyx Vance, seeking to make an unequal stand against the Alliance along with the Resistance Squad. The gameplay elements here are quite usual for this game series. You will be running, jumping, shooting with futuristic and not so futuristic guns, solving interesting puzzles and so on. And here we have Dark Souls 3, and I don't think anyone would argue that it's one of the best games. This one isn't too old, but I'll tell a little bit more about it for those who haven't heard of it yet, just in case. It is an action role-playing game. Here you are going to live in a dark world, there you are going to face harsh trials, numerous battles with different creatures, a lot of quests and unforgettable atmosphere. The protagonist, as in other Dark Souls games, is an unknown warrior who is stamped with a curse. He cannot die and wanders searching for the Ashes Lords, intending to either destroy them or enlist their help to save the world. Though it's often not one without the other. If we talk about gameplay, this is a very challenging RPG that you have to die literally 100 times before you can figure out how to defeat a boss here. Ordinary players often just get nervous, but since neural network has no real nervous system, this game is rightfully ranked as one of the top games on today's list. It seems to me that either ChatGPT really likes RPGs, or it's us regular players who are so fond of them that the neural network has nothing to do but add all the most popular RPGs to the top list. So the next game is the indisputably best RPG, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This is a kind of game that makes you forget about your sleep, and even if you are sleeping, you are dreaming about walking around the forest, fields, dungeons and cities without thinking about the storyline, fighting with your enemies and just enjoying the local beauty. God, what a pleasant experience. Next up we have Portal 2. It's no gaming masterpiece, but it's sure to have fans, and there are more of them than you think. Portal 2 is a sci-fi puzzle game with a first-person perspective. You are a girl named Chill, accompanied by an artificial intelligence GLaDOS. You have to wander around a half-ruined research lab, solve puzzles, use portals and special discontinuities to go there you couldn't go on foot. It was a very cool game at one time, and I think if it is well optimized, it could set download records again. I don't think anyone would be surprised if I said in advance that today we are going to mention Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. It's a truly legendary game that came out 10 years ago, but it's still releasing new content and the developers have no plans to give it up at all. And I don't even know that new thing I can tell you about it. It's just GTA. Even those who don't play video game know about it. The fifth part of this series had everything you could ever wish for: a big open world, a lot of activities, 3 main characters, interesting story, dynamic shooting and chases, great graphics and much more. All the gamers have to do now is to wait for the GTA 6 announcement and hope that it will be no worse than the previous part. BioShock Infinite is not a popular as game, but nevertheless its reviews are quite positive. Maybe that is the reason why the adventure shooter got on today's list. This game was released in 2013 and many of you may have missed it, so let me tell you a little bit more about it. Here you will play as Detective Booker David, who goes to the flying utopian city of Columbia, home to citizens just like those on Earth, but led by the Prophet Comstock here. You will have to find a certain Elizabeth and deliver her to your employers on Earth. In the course of the mission, you will learn overwhelming truths about yourself, about Elizabeth and about your employers. I won't spoil it for you, but I will say that the story, its tangled schemes and twists are exactly what made this game so loved at one time. And then we have Stardew Valley, and let's be honest, I'm not quite sure why it got on today's list. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not a pixel game hater, but you must admit these games aren't for a wide audience. Nevertheless, if the neural network has decided so, let's move on to the game itself. This is a farmer simulator with RPG elements. The main feature here is that you can play not only on your farm, but also outside of it. You will be able to participate in the city life, meet people, get different tasks and even get married if you want. But that's not the end of it. There is a lot of different activities, including fishing, cattle breeding, food making, farming, growing fruits and vegetables, scaling the farm business and much more. What do you think about that? Should Stardew Valley be on this list? Write your thoughts in the comments below. And the last game on today's list is 2016's Doom. Well, it's not a masterpiece either, but it's still pretty good. It's one of those classic shooters where you have to move very fast and not get lost in this dumb mess of projectiles, shots, beams and explosions. The main character here is Executioner of Doom, the super soldier that is destined to destroy all demons in his way. And you will help him with this. You will shoot demons, blow blow them up, rip out their horns, and tear their heads off with your bare hands. Well, that's the gameplay. There is no story as such, nevertheless, the game got a lot of positive reviews, so I guess it is justified to be on this list. By the way, as you may have already noticed, there were no online games today. Why do you think ChatGPT didn't add any of them to the top games list? Write your thoughts in the comments below. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found something interesting, and if so, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's been Deni, see ya guys soon.